I tried to warn you guys about moderators. I really did. I mean, how long have I been doing this? For like 4 years, and you didn't want to believe me. A lot of you still aren't going to believe me. Now, before I get into further detail, there's some things I want to get off my chest. First off, when I lost my Steam account, I should say it was stolen from me because I paid for a physical copy of TF2, and yet my Steam account was taken from me by Valve. No explanation, no compensation, no regards whatsoever. You know, and obviously if I knew how to hack, I would have fucking hacked them for it. So clearly that's not why. So for whatever reason, maybe they were just hoping to make an extra profit by forcing me to buy games over again. For a long time, I've talked about their corruption and the growing monopoly they hold on the gaming market, especially in PC gaming. And I've come to find out that the reason why I could never play Team Fortress Beta was because it was for premium players. Now, isn't that something? Lots of people get banned from Steam, and they have to buy the game again, and when they buy the game again, they technically become premium players when they engage in this microtransaction bullshit, and they then can get the beta. So essentially, my game got stolen, but then they expect me to pay them to play a game I should be getting for free because I was a paying customer. That is criminal. That is terrorism. And I refuse to put up with it. Now, that is just the tip of the iceberg. What I'm going to get into next is I am begging those of you on the internet that see where this is headed, because this is only going to get worse, it always gets worse, is that you are going to be banned from life. Eventually, this will transcend the video game market into your daily life, because everyone is making excuses for moderators at every turn. They believe business has no accountability whatsoever. Apparently, the civil rights battles of the 60s and 70s meant absolutely nothing. There is still segregation, there is still bigotry, there is still capital owners having the entitlement to treat other people badly and to use their capital to oppress people however they see fit. And I appeal to Anonymous. I need your help on this. You must realize how much that pains me to say that, as proud of a guy as I am and as arrogant as I am coming to you, Anonymous, personally, that I need your help, because there is no way I'm going to be able to do this alone. We have to take down Valve. We have to take down Gabe and Naywell. There is no going back. This isn't about Valve. This isn't about any particular moderator. This isn't about Steve. This isn't about Moot. This isn't about Mark Zuckerberg. It's about a principle. A principle that people are equal. We are equal under the law. We are equal unto God. And we are equal unto each other. We are to be treated equally. Yes, some people do bad things, and if you believe people should be punished for those bad things, I will vehemently disagree with you. I do not believe you solve bad problems by necessarily hurting the bad person in question. The hurting of a bad person is just the means to an end. The issue is you have to change the environment. The issue is alchemy. The issue is that the world itself is a byproduct of this evil mentality. People are a product. Everyone. Individually, collectively. We are a product of our thoughts. Our thoughts create this reality. Unfortunately, individual thoughts do not affect reality nearly as much as the collective. And the collective psyche is a lot more detrimental, a lot more murderous and wicked than the individual. No individual, besides moderators of course, want to hurt other people intentionally and do not get pleasure out of it. But the collective does. And that's why you have all these buffoons supporting moderators even though it does not benefit them in any way. That's why they support capitalism, even though it does not benefit them in any way. Making $400 a week, busting your ass for 40 to 60 hours a week, and having nothing to show for it after 10 years of hard work is not working out for you. Getting a college degree and being like $450,000 in debt is not working out for you. Having some kind of skill and still working behind a grill is not working out for you. Clearly, you are not one of the elite. You were never meant to be. You are never going to be. And why should you be? That is wrong. It is wrong for you to cut the throats of other people just for you to get ahead. That's not what life is about. Life is about being happy. Life is about making other people happy. That way you can be happy. Because if everybody is doing what they can to improve, then we all improve. Maybe we improve the world in different ways, but that is ultimately the goal, to improve life. I mean, that's why you want to improve your condition, isn't it? So that you are in a better position to help other people. If you had more money, you could devote more time and effort to helping people in however you think would be the best way to help people. I would think that would be your intention with money. Is your intention simply bitches and whores? You don't need a whole lot of money to do that. You might need money to have the more sophisticated version of bitches and whores, i.e., a golf club membership, fucking a yacht, a boat, things like that, but it's menial. You don't need more material things when you can already have accessibility to material things. That makes no sense. The people that think that way are devoid of a soul. The people that think that way have no morality. They have never been raised to have morality. They are empty vessels. And that's the kind of people that guys like Gabe and Nawel are exploiting. And that's a lot of people. And the reason I am calling out Anonymous personally is because this affects you. Steam has gotten to the point where it's going to get you. Because Gaben wants to become a god. He wants to dictate right and wrong and affect your consumption based on what he decrees is a troll, what he decrees is a bad player. I'll give you the article below so that you can actually read it for yourself. And if what Gaben Nawel says doesn't disturb you, then maybe what the blog writer does will. Because not only is Gaben saying that he wants to literally charge people to play a game if he so thinks in his mind that they are a bad person, but that to turn around and charge $100 to use the voice chat or whatever, but upon that, the blogger agrees with it. Or at the very least, the blogger thinks it's something funny. There's nothing fucking funny about that. That is Orwellian. We are already living in a cyberpunk reality. When Google is putting satellites in space and actually funding space programs over NASA, we live in a cyberpunk. And it's only going to get worse. The mark of the beast is coming. I don't know in what form it'll take on, a more arbitrary, a more literal, but it might already be here. And it's not simply a literal chip in your asshole. It's symbolic. It's it's theatrical, but let me put it to you this way. The mark of the beast says that you get the chip on your hand or on your forehead. What do you think that means? I don't think that means a chip literally. I think that means it either affects you in your actions or in your thoughts. We all accept the mark of the beast in our actions by cooperating with this society, the way it runs now, and is despicable in every way. But when we think it's okay, when we have actually given up and submitted to that idea that it is right and that it is just and that that's just the way that is, that affects your forehead. That affects obviously your thinking process. That has affected your being. So while Christ says that we can be redeemed from the chip in our hand, better to chop off our hand and only exist in heaven with one hand than to get it on the forehead and never be written in the book of life. And I take that to mean that just because we commit ourselves to evil because we're scared, because we're ignorant, because we just don't know what to do, we're confused, does not necessarily mean we cannot be rebuked. It does not necessarily mean we cannot be, changed. But once we have accepted that, we have accepted evil. We have given ourselves up to evil, and there is no hope for us. There is no hope for a lot of these people. And, this is going to affect you, because you guys pay for Steam. I'm sure at some point you have bought a Valve game, maybe not Valve directly, but a game on Steam, and therefore it's going to fucking Valve anyway, and, you're gonna get banned from it. Or they're going to turn around and charge you extraordinary fees and hidden fees and, play around with your accessibility and fuck with you simply because you're decreed to be a bad person in their mind. And that's not their fucking job. They're not the government. They are not God. And you have not wronged them personally in any way. This transcends any other form of harsh judgment that you would expect to receive. You do not allow individuals to go on vigilante crusades against people, even though those people probably have been wrong personally, and that's why they did it, which, even if you disagree with, makes sense. It's rational. You don't like it when government oppresses you, even though, again, it makes sense. It's rational. It's either democratic or it's, the will of the Senate floor, maybe even a monarch, but clearly they think it's to protect something, to protect the nation, the goodwill of the people. No, this is corporate oligarchy. This is them saying it's okay to do because I can, because I am the owner, and that somehow being the owner entitles me to treating other people badly. And you know what? A lot of people agree with them. Probably half of the people watching this video agree with them, and they're gonna write in the comments section about how they agree with them, and get really snide with me, and make a bunch of nasty comments, when I'm not the one trying to charge you a fucking fortune just because you're a bad person, whether it be in my eyes or whether it be literally. If I was making a game product and selling it to you, it shouldn't fucking matter whether or not you're a bad person, because I am making a game product. I would be a game designer or a game developer. That would be my job, is to make games, make good games, and then if people buy them, yay for me. I've been a successful game developer. I did a good job. I hope to make even more money next time around as proof that I'm an even better game designer and I've come very far. But that's not how capitalism works. Capitalism does not use monetary incentive as a reward system. It uses it as an oppressive system. It uses it to control the land, the resources, and the labor of people, and even the minds of people. It has gone beyond simply controlling your life where you work for them, from the moment you're born to the moment you die. Now they control your very essence and your moral foundation. And that is a frightening thought. And they're going to come after you, Anonymous. They're going to come after you individually and collectively. They're going to figure out you're a brony, you're some 4chan douchebag that likes to spout racist memes or whatever, and that's going to affect you. It's going to affect the Christians too, all you fake-ass Christians that say God is love, and God is this, and God did not judge anybody, and you shouldn't say those things. That's going to affect you too. It's going to affect the Jews. It's going to affect the blacks. It's going to affect the Muslims. It's going to affect the Mexicans. It's going to affect whoever they want it to affect at the time. And until you say it's wrong, and I'm not going to deal with it anymore, it's going to keep happening. And I understand that it's difficult to deal with. I understand that it's all-encompassing. But if enough people stand up, there will be no choice but for them to back off. It's just that simple. So you need to DDoS them. It's that simple. You need to DDoS all their fucking servers and cost them a whole bunch of money. You know what? Team Fortress 2 main source of income is the monetary trade system. It's that item trade. It's the fucking selling strange scatterguns or whatever. So what you need to do is DDoS those servers, the trade servers, the guild servers, the things devoted to players that spend a whole lot of time on TF2 and by extension a whole lot of money. They're the ones buying these stupid little baseball cards on a video game format. So you got to go after them. And when you do, it will cost Valve money. And when it starts costing Valve money, they'll have to rethink their whole plan, or else they'll lose more and more money to the point of collapse. And eventually it will become too costly for them to continue down this evil path, and they will have to either stop or risk total failure. Now, am I saying that's punishing Gabe and AOL personally? No. He should be punished personally, but given our environment, that probably isn't going to happen. What I am saying is it would affect the environment. It would affect everything around Gaben and around us. Because by doing so, Gaben and his little cronies will have no choice in the matter. They will not be able to pursue this, and if they do, it'll just cost them more money. But you have to keep on, and you have to believe it. You have to believe it's working, and you have to believe it's worth doing. Or else, it's going to cost you big time now, and it's going to cost you even more later, because businesses think they can do whatever, and we're seeing it more and more and more, and the authorities aren't doing anything about it, your peers aren't doing anything about it, you don't even want to fucking think about it. What do you think that's going to lead to? Do you think it's going to end here? You think it's going to fucking end at video games? Oh, I can't play World of Warcraft. Oh, I can't play Team Fortress 2. It's not about whatever you can fucking play. It's about the principle of the matter. It's about that people have a right to be treated a certain way, and to have their rights respected, and that they are non-negotiable. And you have the right to accessibility, and you have the right to assemble, and you have the right to freedom of speech, and no one can take that away from you, unless you let them. And when you're admitting to that you pay money for something and you don't get treated equally with that product as somebody else who paid too or didn't even pay at all, because said owner, third-party owner, gets to make up in his sick head who gets what, when, where, how, what are you admitting to? You're admitting to slavery. You have sold yourself into slavery. And for what? You didn't get dick out of it. In fact, more and more is being taken away from you. Every free choice you have is gone. You don't have any choice of consumption. You don't have any choice in protest. You don't have any choice at the ballot. You have no fucking choice. It is all in their hands, and you gave it to them. And you weren't even promised anything to begin with. You have just allowed yourself to become so in love with evil and demonic ideas that you've just accepted it. You've accepted your own hell. And what do you have to show for it? And that's going to be your life, and possibly even your eternity. So, I highly suggest you think about this. And I know what I'm going to do. What are you going to do? And that's my personal call to Anonymous and to everybody in general. I'm not joking about this. I knew this was coming. I didn't know when. I didn't think it would be quite so fast that they would be so blatant about it. But they are a courageous lot. That's how you get things done, by having balls. So we have to have balls too. As Nietzsche said, radical ideas are not stopped by moderate ones. They require equal or greater radical ideas. If you want to beat these guys, you have to think like these guys, but maintain your morality. You have to maintain your dignity and maintain the fact that you are doing the right thing. For when you gaze into the abyss, be careful that the abyss does not gaze back. And when fighting monsters, be careful that you do not become a monster yourself. That's all I have to say.